We're back at Santana's Auto Body in Ontario, California. I'm Simo at SV Automotive, and this is Mike Santana, owner of Santana's Auto Body. We're working on Bill's 1979 930. We received the car about a year ago. It was a running and driving car, not very well. The objective was to take the car down to bare metal and do kind of a build on it, similar to our SEMA car, but twin turbo, and make sure that the car has ample power and good braking, best possible suspension and all that. So we took the car all apart and we found not very good things. The car had been hit on the driver's side B-pillar, and it was a banana. It was about an inch off true center. Driver's side frame rails were completely bent. The roof was bent. Only good body panel in the car was the driver's side fender that had been replaced. That was the only part that was pretty good. We ended up putting new quarter panels on it, new frame rails. We stripped the bare metal, of course. We dipped it, and then we still soda blasted it after the dipping to make sure that we had absolutely nothing on it. We've spent 6-7 months doing just metal work on it. The car is absolutely 100% straight. Mike had it on his frame machine with the laser measuring system. We've done the metal work to the point where all the panel gaps are perfect. We did the undercoating, etching primer underneath the car, and Mike has now started doing body work on it. Underneath the front hood here, you can kind of see that we've done, the seam sealing is already done here. And we did a tremendous amount of reinforcements. The shock towers were done in 4130 chromoly steel, so they're super strong. The same thing was done in the back, in the engine compartment. The front suspension also was mounted, reinforced. And here in the engine compartment, we made chromoly corner braces, shock tower rebraces. We made a metal box for the engine Motec harness. This is about as strong as you can make one of these things. Mike is going to be talking more about what he does. So Mike, what are you going to do to the car next?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for trusting us with your project, and it's always a privilege and a pleasure for me to work with you as well. 35 plus years relationship that we've been working together. Yeah. As you mentioned before, did have major structural damage, which we had on the frame machine. We corrected all that. So now we're at the stage where we're doing all the finish and the detail work. The body work right now, we're at this stage where we're doing all just the contour, getting all the finish on the detailing. So this is really critical because once you get it primered, we're at that stage where we've done the roof already.
Yep.
And we continue doing the block sanding. We're in our spray booth right now. It's state of the art, downdraft. It's temperature controlled with the heat and has the blowers for the water-based paints. The primer that we're using, it's PPG. It's a high build primer. It fills a lot of the imperfections and allows us to have material to block sand and make sure everything's perfectly straight and smooth.
I sanded it a little bit the other day just to try it, and I absolutely loved it. It's rock hard.
Yeah.
Good primer.
Yeah. It's a good filler. It's a good base. You know, it protects all the under filler that we've been using on the body. After going through several months of doing spray outs, and I don't know if you want to talk about the color, because that was a process in itself. Going through all the history of all the colors for Porsche, we wanted to stay with something that's true to the brand. So we finally came up with the color that Bill decided on.
It was very interesting sorting out the colors with Bill. We had some ideas, and we went through probably a dozen different colors, and we thought that Bill had finally found a color that he really liked. And originally he had an idea where we actually went a full big circle, and we ended up to the very first color that he mentioned. It was the Grand Prix white. I love Grand Prix white, it's phenomenal. But we went through different blues, probably 4 different blues and many other colors. Very happy that he chose the Grand Prix white. The graphics that we're making on it, they're gonna be slightly offsetting, so it'll have a nice little touch, like the shark fin that goes here, the protector for the quarter, that's going to be just slightly offset off the color. So when you look at it, you can see, but it's there, but it's really not there. So it's
Yeah,
kind of a cool deal. A lot of nice details like that. You're doing the block sanding now. What's next?
So after we do the block sanding, then we start doing the interior. Now, one thing about Simo, every project he works on, he makes it unique to the customer's specifications. We're going to do the exterior in the Grand Prix white. The interior, we're talking about doing sort of a gray contrasting color. Once we get all the bodywork, we primer the exterior. We start working on the inside and the undercarriage to prep all that, and then we do all the painting underneath. Once we put the exterior finish on, we do a two-stage paint with a clear coat. Put about 7 mils of material on it. Once we do that final clear coat, we let it set. We come back, and then we sand clear coat down, and then we re-clear the whole car again. What we're trying to achieve with that process is to give it, this particular car, the wet look. The white, when it pulls up someplace, you're gonna see that the car is just gonna shine. And especially if the sun's hitting it, it'll look like the car's all wet.
Basically a double clear. The normal clear coat that normally is done on a car, then it gets blocked a little bit or sanded so that it has good adhesion, and then it gets another coat of clear. 3 or 4 coats of clear, so you end up with double clear, so it looks like it's a mile deep when you look at it.
Exactly.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
We do all of our cars like that. Not only does it allow you to color sand and polish the car over the years, Bill is planning to keep this car for a long time, and we're building him a legacy car that he can give to his kids down the line. This is not a car that we just build and you drive it and you sell it. That's why when you have a lot of clear, you can polish it for 30 years and you still have enough clear on it.
Yeah, and it'll look like that for another 20, 30 years
Yeah.
as well. You can look at the hood, you can kind of see what we've been dealing with. So what we do on the hood, we put a guide coat on here, we block sand it and find any of the imperfections. So if you look and you can see some of the material here, it'll show some of the low spots on it.
Yeah.
So we come back, put a finish coat over it, and we make it all straight, and then we apply the primer after that.
Yeah. So by the time the primer goes on, it's dead straight and it looks perfect. And
Yeah.
that way there's 0 ripples and waves, and it
Exactly.
looks like a brand new factory paint job.
A couple of weeks out from finishing up the primering and doing the undercoating.
All right.
And once we do that, then we start doing the exterior. So probably within the next 30 days,
That's exciting.
we'll have it finished and be at your place so you can.
Bill,
the
your
bill.
car is going to be shiny very soon.